Diddly dee. There they are, standing in a row. Boom, boom, boom. Big ones, small ones, some the size of your head. Oh, Mufasa would never make me do this. Are we live? Is this thing on? Hello? Are we live? Is this thing on? What's up? How's everybody doing? Shout out to all you beautiful folks tuning in. Any fantasy football questions you got? We got answers. We're going to be doing a couple of drafters, uh, $3.30 NFL Week 12 Sunday splashes. First place wins $1,250. There's over $10,000 in total prizes, and yeah, we'll answer anything and everything you guys got for us. Let's catch up with the chat. Kobe the Cattle Dog says first, my last, my everything. That's the wife's content and her channel. Shout out to you, baby boo. Love you a lot. Jerry Bagshaw says second, and then a bunch of emojis that I can't see. Shout out to Jerry Bagshaw. Love you, brother. I hope you're well. My hand is still recovering from the handshake. And then Antonio 20, bonus Jolito, my favorite New York Jets fan. He says, what up? What's up, Antonio? Good to see you, brother. Yeah, we are simultaneously streaming on both YouTube and Twitter. If you guys can hop over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, that would mean a lot, and I'd really appreciate that. And we'll be only, I mean, if you have a question in there, yeah, I'll definitely try to answer. But it would also mean a lot if you came over to the YouTube, because obviously I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel significantly. And if you did ask me questions earlier and I didn't answer, simply because I'm super busy, and I really do want to answer your questions, and this is the best way for me to do it. So shout out to everybody tuning in. Come on over to the YouTube channel, ask your questions. I'll gladly answer. Live Creation says, Ridley at Houston or Downs versus Detroit. I think they both have incredible matchups. I'm just going to trust Josh Downs a little bit more, with Terrion Arnold being out, and also Detroit's number one cornerback. And Detroit is a top 3 matchup on a weekly basis for opposing wide receivers. I really do like Downs this week a heck of a lot. I love him in this spot against the Detroit Lions, and Anthony Richardson and him have a phenomenal rapport, and yeah, I think he's a smash start this week and pretty much every week, but especially this week. So I'm going to lean Josh Downs here, and I know Sleaze would say go with Ridley, but I'm definitely leaning Downs here. Hopefully he smashes for your live creation, and thank you for becoming a member of Disco Ball Nation, man. Appreciate it. DGV over on the XI says Waddle, Pittman, Wandell need to, please. I would sit Wandell simply because I don't know what Tommy DeVito is going to look like this week. I think Waddle is in a good spot. If you look at last time these two teams played, and yes, you can also say Tyler Huntley was a starting quarterback, but we saw that Waddle got 8 targets because Christian Gonzalez shadowed Tyreek Hill over 70% of the time. Hill didn't have a great game. Waddle had a pretty decent game. That was one of the only good games Waddle had. I do like Waddle in a bounce back spot. Wandell's definitely the guy I'm sitting. And once again, Pittman has a similar matchup to Josh Downs against the Detroit Lions, who give up significant volume and yardage when it comes to wide receivers. So hopefully you smash your matchup, DGV, and shout out to you. Peanut Butter Jelly Time, what up, buddy? He says, yo, 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 good to see you, Peanut Butter Jelly Time. Our draft is starting, so we're going to just get in here and answer your questions as we go. We're at the 105. Good morning, brother. Baker at New York Giants, Murray at Seattle, Knicks at Vegas. I'm going to say I like Knicks the most out of these guys because his matchup is probably the tastiest. But I also don't like the game script at all. I think that with Las Vegas, we're going to see more of the running game. We'll probably see like a 2 to 3 headed monster with SMA, Javante, and Jaleel McLaughlin. We won't see a lot of passing volume. But with that being said, he's also the best ceiling play. So I'm going to go with Bo Nix, but I don't think you're going to be, at a disadvantage if you start any of these quarterbacks, because all 3 of them have a very, very good matchup. I also really like Baker at New York, but I would tend to like the running backs a little bit more. So there's that. And Kyler Murray, he's a smash start pretty much every week. But Bo Nix has just been one of the best quarterbacks in football, and Las Vegas have been giving up a lot of points to the opposing quarterback's position. So yeah, I'm going to go with Bo Nix live creations. Hopefully that smashes for you, boss. Peanut Butter Jelly Time says going with QJ, Dell, or Hunt in the flex this week, full PPR, I think Hunt has one of the best matchups in football. I also like Quentin Johnston's matchup. Don't love Tank Dell in his spot this week. So I'm going to go Hunt or QJ. I'll probably lean Hunt because he has a very high ceiling and a very, very safe floor. Hopefully you smash that pick, good sir. And we got a lot of people tuning in on X. So hop on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, guys. I won't be streaming much on X moving forward. This is simply an introduction to you, beautiful folks, because we have been pumping out a lot of content and giving a lot of people some spectacular fantasy football advice, if I may do say so myself. But yeah, hop on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe. It costs you nothing. And smash the like on the video, guys. Also costs you nothing. It takes like 3 seconds. McConkey or Lamb, my opponent has Herbert. Man, like I'll never say sit CeeDee Lamb, but I'll always try to start a wide receiver against the unless you're a Pittsburgh Steeler for some reason, rhyme or reason and logic just doesn't really pan out there. Tre'Davious White does make Baltimore a little bit better. I'm gonna go with Ladd McConkey here. I do like his matchup way more than I like CeeDee Lamb's matchup in quarterback situation. I love Ladd McConkey this week. He's got top 12 wide receiver upside. So yeah, against one of the most advantageous, if not the most advantageous matchup on the week for wide receivers. So yeah, I'm going to Honky. Shout out to you, Luis Hernandez. Great question, and hopefully you enjoy the answer. All right, we're on the clock. We're at the 105. So we're Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devon Achane. Amon-Ra St. Brown's my wide receiver one on the week. I think he has a smash matchup against the Indianapolis Colts. I love the wide receivers on both sides of this matchup. If I'm not getting Amon-Ra St. Brown early in these drafters drafts here where first place wins $1,250 USD, I am most certainly 100% trying to get JMO in one of the last rounds because both of them have a smash matchup. I'm even trying to get Laporta. So yeah, and Devon Achane has one of the better matchups in football. The New England Patriots hemorrhage a lot of fantasy points. And if you guys want to get into one of these drafts or do a drafters Pick-Ems, we did a lot of drafters Pick-Ems last night, and we got quite a few tickets tailed in our Discord, our community Discord. Use promo code DISCO when you sign up on Drafters Fantasy, and that will double your initial deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. Elijah Laws, aka the Call of Duty God. This, if you guys don't know, I love Call of Duty, and I'm not great, but I'm pretty good. This guy is a COD god. This guy's where I get all the information from, and his TikTok lives are booming. His TikTok content is spectacular, and you get fitness advice from him as well. So Call of Duty advice and fitness advice. Shout out to Elijah Laws. He just became a YouTube member here on the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. All right, let's look at what our chance. Okay, I like Walker a lot this week. I think he's in a smash matchup. I don't love Kyron Williams. If we're talking about game script, I think Travis Kelce doesn't have the best game script because they're just going to run the rock and absolutely dominate Carolina this week. But with that being said, he has, if we're looking at the last 4 weeks, he has the most advantageous matchup on the week for the tight end position. So we're going to go with Travis Kelce for the ceiling play. Luis Hernandez says, thank you for the advice. Anytime, brother. Anytime you've got a question, I'll gladly answer it, my friend. Stephen McMahon. Please head on over to the YouTube channel, Stephen. But I will gladly answer your question. This is another question from X. At the flex, start Jonnu, Goddard, or D-Hop. Many thanks. PPR format. I'm going to say Goddard because the vacancy that Devonta Smith leaves means that he's going to be used early and often. The LA Rams give up a significant amount of usage to the tight end position. Goddard is in a smash position. He has the highest ceiling out of all of these fellows. And also, I do like D-Hop. I think it's a good matchup, but it's tough to project. It's either going to be him, Hunt, Xavier Worthy, and there's just too many mouths to feed there. Whereas, like, we know it's going to be Saquon, AJ Brown, and Goddard. So I'm going to say Goddard. Hopefully he smashes for you, Steven. And thank you for supporting the content, boss. Live Creation says, how about Debo at Green Bay or Javonte at Vegas? I'm going to go with Debo against Green Bay. And I know you guys are going to say, well, Brock Purdy isn't playing. Well, like, that's why I like Debo against Green Bay. because the usage is going to be there way more. He is the perfect player who marries the run game and pass game, and because he's going to get more volume and the ability he has when he has the ball in his hand to break one free every single snap is why I'm going to go with Debo. We're going to see way more volume going his way, whereas like Javonte Williams, like we counted him out pretty much. A lot of people dropped him like just before last week because Estime was the guy, and then it was Javonte last week, and then Estime the week before, and Jaleel McLaughlin sprinkled in there. So it's pretty weird. All right, we're gonna go to McLaurin here because I really like his matchup, and we're gonna go. Let's see if we can get. We can't. Okay, we're gonna go with. Do I want DK against Arizona? We'll go DK Metcalf against Arizona. Hopefully, we can get Marvin Harrison Jr. on the way back. Potentially stack him with Kyler Murray. I like both of them this week. If we can't get that stacked, then we'll try to get Travis Kelce stacked up with Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, stacking isn't necessary, but if there's a good advantageous matchup for both quarterbacks and their receiving threat, I'll gladly take that. And I think Kenneth Walker has one of the best matchups in football if you look at the last 4 weeks. And yeah, thank you, Elijah, for becoming a member, guys. It only costs $1.99 Canadian to become a member, and yeah, it really does go a long way in helping us put out more content and whatnot. Raul Lucero says, HN, Jacobs, and Irving, which two do I start? Also, I have McConkey and flex him or one of these RBs. I'm going to say play all three of your running backs. They all have a very, very safe floor and a very high ceiling. Great matchups this week. McConkey should be a must start, but once again, Tre'Davious White, Marlon Humphrey, maybe, it wasn't just Pittsburgh and Baltimore doing the Pittsburgh and Baltimore dance. I think you have a much safer floor with HN Jacobs and Irving and a very, very high ceiling there. I would definitely play all three of those backs. They're all smash starts, especially if it's half PPR. They all have tremendous touchdown upside. Hopefully that helps you out, Raul, and thank you for becoming a member of Disco Ball Nation. Thanks for all your help. Would you start Jordan Love or Drake May today, half PPR? I would definitely go with Jordan Love. Obviously, the weather is a concern, but this guy has a cannon of an arm. Charvarius Ward is not playing. Nick Bosa is not playing for the San Francisco 49ers. He is going to get some chunk plays. He's going to find the end zone. Do I want Marvin Harrison Jr. or Brian Robinson? We'll go Brian Robinson because he has one of the best matchups in football. And then we'll go Patrick Mahomes to stack up with Travis Kelce. And that's our draft. So we'll just go back to the lobby and we'll queue up for another one of these. And yeah, we've finished really high in these quite often. But we haven't taken the first place, and that's our goal, is to take first place here in this Drafters DFS redraft slate. So wish us luck for sure. And if you guys want to help me out, I don't mind that at all. Hopefully that answers your question, Brian Jens. I really do I also like Jaden Reed a heck of a lot this week. Christian Watson as well. Romeo Dobbs, it's week 12. It's by Mageddon. If you have to play him, play him. But yeah. Peanut Butter Jelly Time says, all right, Hunt is in my flex. Now I have to close the app, so I stopped flipping him in QJ. Hey man, just trust your guns. I could be wrong. I've been wrong many times before. I've also been right a lot of times before. Don't come to me for the end all be all. Just come to me for the insight and my breakdowns and just a different opinion, and then ultimately you make your decision. You're a great fantasy mind, and you've come this far, so keep trusting your instincts and your guts. Carlos over on X, feel free to hop on over to the YouTube channel. We won't be streaming on X moving forward. This is going to be our last stream on X. So we're just trying to introduce you guys to the content. Currently, we have 57 people viewing on X, 7 people on YouTube. So shout out to all of you people who are tuning in and supporting the content. Come on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. Would gladly appreciate a sub. It costs you nothing, and a like also costs you nothing. It takes 3 seconds. Carlos says Bo Nix or Kyler Murray, Ladd or Jaden Reed, full PPR. Who? I'm going to go with, I already recommended Bo Nix. So you can't go wrong with Bo Nix or Kyler Murray this week. I think Bo Nix has the safer floor. I think Kyler Murray has the higher ceiling. I'm going to still ride with Bo Nix. I do have him ranked higher than Kyler Murray. And then Ladd or Jaden Reed. I think Like I do like Ladd a lot this week, but I'm not benching Jaden Reed. So I'm gonna go Bo Nix and Jaden Reed. Hopefully that smashes for you, boss. I just think Jaden Reed finds the end zone one or two times on like three bomb receptions. So if you get extra points or additional points for 40-yard touchdowns, that's gonna be there. Peanut Butter Jelly Time says Hunt was my first choice. I just like having that Monday nighter. Yeah, man. I'm like, here's the thing. I'm never benching a running back again. Like even if Isaiah Pacheco was to start, guys, Kareem Hunt was still a top 10 running back for me this week. I'm never ever benching a running back against the Carolina Panthers. So once you have a running back against the Carolina Panthers, you got to start them. But once again, if you also have a wide receiver against the Baltimore Ravens, you also kind of got to start them. But yeah, I mean, once again, I could be wrong, but I've been wrong before, but I'm usually right. I do research a heck of a lot. So we're at the 103 now. Here's my concern. I like Christian McCaffrey a heck of a lot this week based off of the volume and usage, but Trent Williams is banged up. He's going to face heavier boxes because Brandon Allen is Brandon Allen. We don't know what he's capable of. Mind you, Jair Alexander is out on the other side. It's a very interesting matchup. Like CMC is a great ceiling play, but if I have to choose between CMC and Saquon, I'm going to go Saquon every single time. And this guy just took A.J. Brown at the 102, and I really, really like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown's my wide receiver 1 on the week. A.J. Brown's my wide receiver 2. So I'm going to take Saquon here. I'm going to get that safe floor, high ceiling play against the LA Rams defense on the Sunday night football slate and see what we can build after this. Exactly. Plus volume is king, man. I mean, like in a lot of scenarios, volume really sucks. Like I think Chuba Hubbard's going to get a lot of volume tonight, but I don't think he's going to be very productive against the Kansas City Chiefs because they're one of the better. Like the only player who had success at the running back position against the Kansas City Chiefs is one of my top 5 RBs and one of my most drafted RBs, and that's James Cook. Shout out to Jimbo Cook. Jimbo Cook. What a savage. What an absolute beast. What a spectacular performance. All right, so we took Saquon Barkley here. Let's look at a flex option. The wide receivers are flying off the board. I'm going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs against Indianapolis. Indianapolis has gotten better since DeForest Buckner has come back a few weeks ago to stabilize that defensive front. He's a spectacular run stopper and pass rusher at the defensive tackle position for the Indianapolis Colts. But with that being said, Jahmyr Gibbs is one of the most explosive players in football, period. So if we're talking about high ceiling, I really do love him. I'm also going to try to get Puka Nacua or Justin Jefferson coming around the bend here so we can address a top 5. There goes Justin Jefferson. I don't think we're going to get Puka. So next up would be Cooper Kupp. Or we might just go with Josh Jacobs because I like Josh Jacobs a lot in his matchup as well here. So we'll figure it out. Live Creation says Tua versus New England or Jordan Love versus San Francisco. It's Jordan Love for me, man. I know Tua has a great matchup, but yeah, I think Jordan Love's got a way better matchup, and it's going to be a very interesting game for sure. All right, we're going Cooper Kupp. It's going to be a very interesting game for sure, but I got to go with the upside, and the upside is most certainly Jordan Love. I love him to smash his matchup this week. Masahiro Gardner. Hopefully I didn't butcher that name. I know I did, but hopefully I didn't. Got offered a blockbuster. I give up Chase Brown or Jonathan or Jamar Chase. Because if it's Jamar Chase, okay, so Chase Brown's on the other side. So it's you give up Jamar Chase, Jonathan Taylor, Brian Thomas Jr., Jalen Waddle for Chase Brown, Kenneth Walker, T. Higgins, Juan Jennings. What do you think? I think hold on to your guys. 100% hold on to your guys. Because BTJ, he's going to get, what's his face back? He's going to get Trevor Lawrence back week 13 moving forward. Their bye is going to be out of the way. Jalen Waddle, he's good to spike. I think he's going to spike today, and I think he's going to bounce back for the rest of the season. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Jonathan Taylor is a no-brainer. He's better than all the other running backs on the other side there, and I think he's going to also smash in Jamar Chase no matter what. This community is founded on Jamar Chase no matter what, and being a Laporta supporter. So yeah, don't take the trade. I don't like that trade at all for you, sir. Live Creation just donated $5 super. Thank you, sir. That always gets bumped to the top. I appreciate you. He asks, in my Guillotine League to survive, flex Laporta, Debo, Swift, or DJ Moore. I'm going Laporta. Laporta has one of the most advantageous matchups on the week, period, across the board. I like him for a touchdown. I think Debo's going to get a lot of volume. I think DJ Moore could get a little bit of work if we're talking about. So we're going to go. Shit. If Travis Kelce's going to fall this far, we're going to go Travis Kelce. And like CeeDee Lamb's gone, but I like Neighbors ish. I like JSN a lot, and I like Marvin Harrison Jr. So we'll see if we can get JSN and Marvin Harrison Jr. And then if Neighbors keeps falling or Jonathan Taylor keeps falling, we'll pick them up, and then we'll just grab a quarterback late. Hopefully, we can get a stack of some sort. Yeah, I'm going Laporta. I love Laporta this week. I think he's a smash start. I think he's an absolutely phenomenal play and one of the best matchups in football, period, across the board. So, yeah, I really do like him. Marvin Harrison and, okay, shit. So we're going to go JSN. I don't hate the idea of flexing Brock Bowers against Denver. Last time these two guys played, Brock Bowers went absolutely nuclear, and I mean, not a lot of people are going bully tight end here. And if you guys know anything about me, in best ball in particular, I was the bully tight end king, but obviously it hasn't panned out there. B-Dog says, asked yesterday about to confirm 2 full PPR, Jonathan Taylor, Marvin Harrison Jr., Debo Reed this week. I'm going with Jonathan Taylor and Marvin Harrison Jr., boss. Can't sit Jonathan Taylor. Won't. And I love Marvin Harrison Jr. in this spot. I mean, the research is there. The analysis is there. If it doesn't happen, I apologize. That's just fantasy football, doing fantasy football things. But I do like both of those guys this week. I also like Jaden Reed a heck of a lot, and I also like Debo Samuel a lot. But for talking about a safer floor and a higher ceiling, it's Jonathan Taylor and Marvin Harrison Jr. Hopefully that answers your question, B-Dog. Absolutely agreed. Hold your side there. Yes, sir. Amen and hallelujah. Hallelujah. And yeah, guys, if you guys got any questions, if you guys want to talk about props, betting props, we can gladly do that. I'll be building a drafters pick'em ticket after this, where 8 props will 100x your Dollarooskies. So we'll definitely consider that. All right, so Brock Bowers is gone. Let's look at our quarterback situation right now. Jalen Hurts is still available. There's no way I'm not taking Jalen Hurts in round 6. Usually he's gone within the first 3 rounds in these drafts. This is my 12th or 13th one of these on the week. So yeah, that's an incredible value that fell to me. And then I can't take David Montgomery because I already have Jahmyr Gibbs. I like Aaron Jones a lot in his matchup this week. I also need one more wide receiver. But yeah, Downs is still available. Reed's still available. Debo, I'm going to put JMO in. I'm going to take JMO. I don't think anybody else is going to take JMO unless they're watching the stream. B-Dog with the $4.99 super. Thank you, B-Dog, so much. Very generous of you, man. I really do appreciate that. Goes a really long way. Appreciate you, boss. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I'll take Jonathan Taylor here because it's such a screaming value. It really is. Serve 5 says, I have Ridley and Alec Pierce. Could I play both? Here's my issue with Alec Pierce. He's all ceiling, 0 floor, whereas Ridley has one of the better matchups in football. Houston gives up not a lot of volume, but they give up significant chunk plays in yardage and touchdown production to the wide receiver position. On the last 4 weeks, they're a top 4 advantageous matchup. So I'm going to go with Calvin Ridley. It's terrible to say because I absolutely hate Will Levis, but they've looked great. And he's been the most targeted player in football the last few weeks. Shout out to Sleazeball for that tidbit. And speaking of Sleazeball, I know he usually does these Sunday morning streams, but he's taking the day off. He turned his life up last night. He had a birthday party to go to, so we're picking up the slack. Hopefully that answers your question, Serve 5, and welcome to Disco Ball Nation, man. I really do appreciate you tuning in. We have 83 people tuning in on X. That's wild. Please come over to the YouTube channel, the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. Will gladly answer everything you got there, boss. All right. I might do one more of these drafts. I've kind of like overdone the pick'ems, and then maybe do a pick'em. All right. So we'll queue up for another one of these drafts. Looks like there might be an overlay here. If we're looking at how many people have joined, looks like there's maybe going to be a 200 person overlay potentially by the time it kicks off. So Get your lineups in, guys. Let's go back to full screen here. All right. B Dog, after the donation, says weird question, but still going with Kittle over Mark Andrews. I mean, they both have really good matchups. And if you're talking about a quarterback with not a lot of experience and not a lot of usage and not a lot of starts, and when we've seen similar situations in the past where a backup quarterback steps in for Kyle Shanahan's offense, the tight end gets a lot of work. I'm never benching George Kittle. Mark Andrews tends to disappear. He does have a good matchup this week because if we're talking about one weakness the Chargers have, it's to the tight end position, but I also like Isaiah Likely a heck of a lot. I'm never sitting Kittle, especially when he's going to get a lot of volume and usage his ways, especially if this is PPR. Is this a PPR question, B-Dog? And yeah, I knew it was Kittle. I knew it was Kittle, man. Sometimes autocorrect be dumb, sir. Rico Dowdle at Washington or Chuba with Brooks active versus Casey. Fuck. Is this for your RB2? So I will say this. Okay. I will say this. If we're looking at the last 4 weeks, right, the Washington Commanders have been giving up 24.65 fantasy points to the running back position. If we're looking at the last 2 weeks, the Washington Commanders are the second most advantageous matchup on the season, and they're actually the first on the week, just based off the last 2 weeks, where they've given up 30.95 fantasy points per week in the last 2 weeks to the running back position. Whereas like Kansas City Chiefs are a bottom 5 advantageous matchup. Like it's not advantageous at all to have a running back go against the Kansas City Chiefs. So I'm going to say Rico Dowdle takes it here. And I really hate suggesting Rico Dowdle, but since it is by Mageddon, you got to play, the charts and you got to play the advantages. If any of them does have a chance to pop, in my opinion, based off of my research. Once again, I'm not perfect. I sometimes get things wrong, but based off of my analysis, my research, I've gone through the process of breaking down everything, and it just seems like Rico Dowdle is the better option, and it tastes like sulfur saying that. Like I really feel gross to the core saying that and giving you that advice, but hopefully it smashes for you, buddy. Hopefully smashes for you. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for supporting. The supers are super generous, guys. Absolutely incredible. Once again, it's Big Draft Energy on YouTube. We are live simultaneously. Before I talk more about this draft, I want to talk about a fund and a cause that's very near and dear to my heart. Every year, millions of families struggle to, keep a roof over their head or even food on the table, especially for Christmas. A good friend of mine, Chris Lalonde, a local police officer and the president of the North Gloucester Giants football Giants, which is the organization that I grew up playing football, for the last 4 years has been campaigning the Christmas Miracle Fund, the Christmas Miracle campaign, which essentially means our goal, like you see here at the bottom, is to feed 100 families during the holiday season. A full turkey dinner. We're talking about a big ass turkey, all the fixings and dessert, and we deliver it. We deliver the food to the families. We've hit 100 the last 3 years, and hopefully this year we can actually help out more families by giving them a Christmas dinner. The looks on these families' faces is so rewarding, and I really want to use my platform to do good. And God didn't give me this platform not to do good in the world with it. And we've done charity events before in the past, and we're going to continue to do so, and this one's very near and dear to my heart. So if you guys do want to help, any amount helps. The Rally Up link where you can make your donations is in the YouTube description to this live show. Just click on that, make a donation. Once again, anything helps. Anything that you can afford, anything that you can, and by the way, if you're from the US, this is all Canadian currency. So like your American dollars will go even a longer way with your donations. So God bless you guys. Once again, the Rally Up link for the Christmas Miracle campaign to feed 100 families turkey dinners is in our description. And yeah, man, God bless you guys. Lord knows I love you guys. And any and everything helps. $5, $2, $10, anything helps. God bless you. Sean Jr. McCafferty says, Will Lutz or Austin Seibert upside play. Respect to the channel. God bless you, man. I appreciate you. I'm going Will Lutz. I like Will Lutz, not just this week, but every other week. I think we are going to see. Oh, shit. Hold on. We'll take Puka here. I think we are going to see the Denver Broncos get stalled a couple of times because, let's be honest, even though they've been performing very well, they're not the best red zone team, and they are going to settle for a couple of field goals. Whereas I think every time Washington touches the ball, they're going to go find the end zone, right? So if we're talking about field goals being 2.5 points, 3 points in your league standard, and if we're talking about extra points being half a point or 1 point in your league, obviously Will Lutz 3 points. I have him projected for over 2.5 field goals. I like him a heck of a lot this week, so I'm going to go with Will Lutz. Hopefully that answers your question, buddy, and hopefully you smash your fantasy football matchup. Thank you for supporting the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. It means a heck of a lot, boss, and God bless you. Oh, Bilo, what's up, Billy? Good to see you. He says, what's good, Cuzzo? Living the dream, man. Another day, another fantasy football advice show, and I'm very blessed to have this community, and I'm very, very grateful to be able to just chop it up and give you guys fantasy football advice. We have 102 people viewing, 92 of you on X. If you guys can head over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, it takes a few seconds. We'll gladly rock with you guys and give you guys all the advice that your heart can desire. All right, we're going to go Tyreek Hill here. I don't love him this week, but obviously the Patriots are the 6th most advantageous matchup on the week for opposing wide receivers. I'm not, and I repeat, not going to not draft Tyreek Hill. He's the ultimate ceiling play. Puka Nacua, people are saying, oh, Philly's been really good against the wide receivers, giving up no production, but they haven't faced, a decent passing game, like a top 15 or 16 passing game in the NFL in the last 4 or 5 weeks. The last time they faced it was I think it was week 7 or 8 matchup against the Cincinnati Bengals, and Jamar Chase went nuclear. Since then, they haven't really gone against a formidable passing offense. So I'm definitely leaning on Puka Nacua to smash his matchup and also his prop, which is currently at 68.5 receiving yards. So, I really like Puka Nacua a lot this week. All right, we'll go DK Metcalf. We got quite a bit of Jackson Smith and Jigba. I love Jackson Smith and Jigba in his matchup this week. If we're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, when they do give up usage to opposing wide receivers, it's predominantly to the slot, and JSN lines up in the slot 85% of the time. So it really is a great matchup for JSN, and I think JSN's in a smash spot this week. And I also think that Marvin Harrison Jr. is in one of the best spots in football. If we're looking at the last 4 weeks, the Seattle Seahawks have given up. Obviously, they had a bye week, but their last 4 weeks that they've played football, the Seattle Seahawks have given up the most fantasy points per game to opposing wide receivers. So Marvin Harrison Jr. is a smash spot. Even Michael Wilson, the second wide receiver, I think he's still playable this week. Since it's week 12 by Mageddon, you have 6 teams with a lot of spectacular wide receivers on by. Greg Dortch and Michael Wilson are both playable. I see Mike Evans there, and it's teasing me, right? Because I really do want to pick him up, but I'm not going to do it. So we went super wide receiver heavy here with a safe floor at running back play with Saquon Barkley. Running backs I do like late in these things is obviously David Montgomery or Jahmyr Gibbs. Both of them have a smash matchup. I really, 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 really like either Rashad White or Bucky Irving, Brian Robinson or Austin Eckler. All of those guys are great tertiary late round options in these drafts. So I'm going to try to get a couple of those guys. B-Dog says, thoughts on Kupp going against him? Feels like defenses cover him over Puka, in my opinion. Why Puka shines? Here's the thing. No matter what, Kupp is going to get involved, and he's going to get involved early and often. If we're looking at the last 4 or 5 games, Matthew Stafford has thrown the ball over 40 times. They both get targeted 29% of the time on Matthew Stafford's dropbacks when he's not getting sacked, because the offensive line is absolutely despicable. The only player who I don't like this week because I even think Demarcus Robinson's playable. I even think Colby Parkinson. And if you guys know anything about me, I'm the biggest Colby Parkinson. I think he's playable. But Kyron Williams, I'm concerned for because I don't think the defensive line is a fluke. That defensive line is absolutely spectacular, and they are very, very good against the run pretty much no matter the week. It really does. I think he's going to get more usage as a receiver. But yeah, if we're talking about volume, opportunity, and usage, there's no way I'm not riding. We'll go with Trey McBride. There's no way I'm not riding with Cooper Kupp. I think Cooper Kupp is smash play this week and every week because that's how they have to stay in the game. Like no other team is dropping back and throwing 45 times a week, and no other team has a guy like Matthew Stafford doing the dropbacks and throwing that many times. So volume is king and opportunity is king. 29% usage is absolutely elite, even though 30 to 31% of the usage is going to Puka Nacua, and both of those guys are on the field at the same time simultaneously. Like it's still a great matchup. So good luck. Hopefully you have a good lineup, B Dog. I think Cooper Kupp's easily. I have Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp both in my top 10 wide receiver projections this week. We hear no reason to get my man. Hot Takes is celebrating his 2-month membership to Disco Ball Nation support. Says, love you, man. Happy to see you doing big things. I'm just trying, man. I'm just trying to spread positivity, love, and great fan. Oh, Josh Jacobs. Wow. What a blessing and a gift. Josh Jacobs in round 7. I think he's in a smash spot as well. He's one of my favorite running backs on the week. So we got Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs. I have them both projected for top 5 usage. We got some good wide receivers in here to mix in. Obviously, we got the safe floor play and high ceiling of Puka. We got the very high ceiling play of Tyreek Hill and with no floor. We got DK Metcalf, all ceiling and a decent floor. Trey McBride, he's going to get usage, and Marvin Harrison Jr. at a flex. So we just need to finish this off with a quarterback, preferably Kyler Murray, but he's gone. See, I don't understand. This guy has 0, and I repeat, 0 guys from. That's annoying. That's annoying. I don't want to get Stafford. I might go with Bo Nix, or actually, I'll go with Anthony Richardson for the rushing upside. It was either Bo Nix or Anthony Richardson, but Anthony Richardson does present a higher rushing upside. If I'm not going to stack my players with a quarterback, I am most certainly going to go for the rushing upside. So shout out to Anthony Richardson. I do think he's in a smash position as well this week. We're going to do one more of these drafts. And if you guys got your fantasy football questions, feel free to bring them in. Hot Take with a $1.99 donation. Beautiful. So happy for you. Thank you, man. Thank you. We're just trying to spread positivity, love, and do good things with great people. This is one of the best communities, if not the best community, in fantasy football and on the planet. I really do love this community with everything I got. You guys are absolutely incredible. But yeah, man, keep the fantasy football questions coming. I know we got 98 people watching on X. Shout out to you, beautiful people. And we got a lot of beautiful people here watching us on YouTube. Coming over to the YouTube channel, Big Draft Energy on YouTube helps us a heck of a lot. And yeah, we try to give back as much. Like, I don't think anybody gives away more to their community than we do here. We give out tickets during best ball season, so you guys can have an opportunity to win $500,000. Last year, somebody won a significant chunk of change from one of our giveaways that actually helped them out of a tough financial spot. So news like that and stories like that warms up my heart. We just constantly do giveaways and we constantly give back. So hop on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, become a member of this community. And I really do appreciate you guys. So we're going to do one more of these drafts. And if we don't get a lot more fantasy football questions, I might just go hang out with the wife before kickoff. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, shout out to you guys. We got 1 membership. That's incredible. Shout out to Elijah. Once again, fantasy football god. We got a great donation from Live Creation. God bless you. We got another great donation from B-Dog, celebrating 2 months of being a member of Disco Ball Nation with Hot Take City, who is a great follow on X and one of the best people just to know, period. Hot Take City on Twitter, on X, just like you see on the screen here. And he donated $1.99. You guys are absolutely incredible, super generous, better than I deserve. Honestly, God bless you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, so hopefully we can get some Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't have a lot of Nico Collins, and I do like him this week and pretty much every week. Justin Jefferson, I feel like, is being slept on. You should start Justin Jefferson every week. I don't love him this week, but his ceiling is, especially with no Jamar Chase, his ceiling is limitless. So we're going to try to go with a 2 wide receivers start here, and I think we're going to go with 3 running backs in the last 3 rounds. So we're going to start 3 wide receivers off the rip, go quarterback, tight end, and then get 2 of our starting running backs and a flex at the running back position. I want to try something a little bit different here. Hopefully it pans out, and hopefully one of these lineups cash. Pray for us. We finished 3rd, we finished 5th, we finished 9th several times, but we have not taken first place in these drafters tournaments, and we've come close every single week. This is the week, folks. I feel it. All right, Justin Jefferson went at the 101. Insane. There goes that. So Amon-Ra St. Brown, it's either A.J. Brown or Nico Collins in that order. I do have quite a bit of lineups with both A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown, so I might continue to do so. I'm just going to stick to my research. That's wide receiver 1 and 2 for me. And if CMC and Saquon are gone, I do like H.N., but yeah. Okay, H.N.'s gone. We're going to go A.J. Brown. And then if we can land like a Puka Nacua or a Cooper Kupp, that would be insane. If we can't, then we're just going to go with Jalen Hurts if he falls to us. So we'll queue him up. And then try to get Brock Bowers as well, and just get the quarterback and tight end position sorted and out of the way. And once again, guys, this is a $3.30 entry. And first place wins $1,250 USD. And there's over $10,000 in total prizes for all other placements. There's no other DFS like this out here. This is a redraft format DFS style where you and 4 other people, so 5 people total, queue up, pay the $3.30 fee, and you guys get to draft your lineup redraft style. That's why Drafters Fantasy is the best. If you guys want to try this out or build Pick-Em tickets on Drafters Fantasy, make sure you use promo code DISCO to double your initial deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. So anywhere between 25 to 100. Your first Pick-Em ticket is on me, where if you hit 8 props, you'll 100 extra dollar Ruskies. If you hit 2, it's 3 times. If you have 3 props, it's 6 times. If you hit 4 props, it's 10 times. If you hit 5 props, it's 35 times. If you hit, a bunch of that. Oh, man. Dom asks, says, what's up, brother? Just trying to get these last-minute drafters drafts. Shout out to Dom asks. That's the worst fantasy football channel. Really is a great fantasy football channel. Top-notch stuff. Top-notch human. Yeah, we'll go Jalen Hurts here because he's my QB1 of the week, and then we'll try to get Brock Bowers around the bend. He actually placed first in one of these. I would love to place first. And he was one of the guys who signed up using promo code DISCO, and he won $1,500 USD, also Canadian like myself. So shout out to Dumb Asks from the worst fantasy football channel over on YouTube, one of the brightest minds in football and just a spectacular source of energy and knowledge. All right, Brock Bowers, our QB and tight end are out of the way. We got my wide receiver 1 and 2. So let's see what we could do with the rest of what we got here. We got a couple running backs that I like. So we're going to queue up Josh Jacobs. We're going to queue up Jonathan. No. We're going to queue up Terry McLaurin. We're going to queue up David Montgomery. We're going to queue up Brian Robinson, Marvin Harrison Jr., and Jackson Smith and Jigba. Now that we got our queue, we're just going to go get our guys because these are our guys that we have projected to smash. And if they don't smash, that's our fault. But, you know, if I have a lineup of 8 players who I have projected in my top 10 for all the positions, I think we're in a good spot. Needed a sip of coffee there. You know, EB20 says Debo, Downs, JSN, Worthy, Jonathan Taylor need 1 wide receiver and 1 flex play. Downs is definitely your wide receiver and JSN is your flex play. I do like Jonathan Taylor a lot. I would personally not sit him, but based on my research, it's either JSN or Jonathan Taylor, whichever one you feel more comfortable. I think Jonathan Taylor gives you a safer floor, but JSN gives you a much higher ceiling. And if you guys know me, I always give the ceiling advice. JSN is going against the Arizona Cardinals, and they hemorrhage production to the slot receiver. He lines up at the slot over 90% of the time. I think he's in for a smash week, smash start. Kittle or Jonathan Smith. It's George Kittle for me. It's George Kittle for me. I think with a quarterback with not a lot of experience, like we've seen in the past before, Kyle Shanahan does lean on the tight end and running back a little bit more, and Debo also gets a lot more usage. So I think they're all startable. But Downs is in a smash matchup against the number one or number two most advantageous matchup on the week to opposing. All right, we'll take David Montgomery here as our first running back. And then we'll look at Terry McLaurin's gone. So, I mean, Jonathan Taylor's there, and he's just screaming at me. If Jonathan Taylor is available in the last round, we'll take him there. All right, we'll take JSN here. We got a lot of JSN. We'll continue to invest in JSN. I just took him over DK Metcalf. I'm trying to stagger both of them. Are you still starting Debo with a backup quarterback? Absolutely. 100% still starting Debo with a backup quarterback. I think with a backup quarterback, and I said this earlier, but I'll say it again because you probably just tuned in, and thank you for tuning in and supporting the content in the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, sir. I am trusting Debo with a backup quarterback because he is the perfect player who marries both the pass and the run game, and he is going to get more volume and more usage in the running game and the check down game, both bubble screens and short routes like a slant and what have you. So I think he's going to get a lot more volume and a lot more usage, especially since Trent Williams is out. So it's going to be like one step throw kind of deal, or just like reverse play handoff, because Christian McCaffrey is still getting slowly ramped up. So based off of the volume and his ability to break one big any given touch, any given down, on any given Sunday, I like Debo a lot this week, and I think people are over analyzing and overthinking it. What it comes down to is the usage is going to be there, and once again, I'm not perfect. I've been wrong in the past, but based off of my assessment, my research, we've checked all the boxes, we've crossed all our T's, dotted all our I's, and yeah, man. If I'm wrong, I apologize, but it's not due to a lack of effort. I like Debo a lot this week. All right, do we go Marvin Harrison Jr. here as our flex play? 1999 PC Carter, Neighbors, or Lamb. I'm going to go with CD Lamb. I need to see what DeVito and Tommy Cutlets can do. Obviously, it's an advantageous matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, but also I haven't seen Neighbors and Tommy Cutlets play at all together. I'm throwing the ball over here. So yeah, I'm going to go CD Lamb. CD Lamb can't be on the bench, but you got good problems. Both of them are spectacular receivers, just really bad quarterback situations, unfortunately. 142 people tuning in on a Sunday morning. God bless you guys. 133 on X. Feel free to hop on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel, guys. Would help us out a lot with the content that we put out. Would help us put out more content, and obviously, it's always great to subscribe for free. It costs you nothing. Shit. All right, Jonathan Taylor available last round. See, we just held. I just bit my tongue. We just held and we got it. So last lineup we're drafting here. Lineup number 13. We got Jalen Hurts, David Montgomery, Jonathan Taylor, Amon-Ra St. Brown, AJ Brown, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brock Bowers, Marvin Harrison Jr. Usually when I draft a lot of Marvin Harrison Jr., he busts. He really does bust. So I don't want him to do that. Obviously, I need him to smash because I'm very invested in him this week. And if he does smash, I think we're making a lot of money this week. Give you guys a few minutes to ask a couple more fantasy football questions. And if we don't get a couple more fantasy football questions, I'll bid you guys adieu and go hang out with the wife. We got our 2 TV setup, which is very exciting. 2 TV setup. We always have NFL Red Zone in the game of the hour. And I'm a diehard Pats fan, so the game of the hour is always out there. I don't know why, but I just keep biting my fucking tongue when I speak. It's like I forgot how to speak. Game day morning, man, it hits differently. I'm up usually at 6, 7 a.m., but I'm up with a smile on my face on game day morning. I love game day morning. And I'm usually up a little bit earlier than 6 or 7 a.m. So, yeah, man, I've been really enjoying this journey. I really do appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting us. I'll give you guys another minute or so to ask any sort of questions. And, yeah. Mike Evans or Quentin Johnston. Fuck. Mike Evans has a good matchup, but I think he's going to be very limited, especially coming off of that hamstring injury. And if they want to make a run, especially a deep run, they're not going to blow their load against the New York Giants, who should be a walk in the park victory. So Quentin Johnston, for me, he has a way better matchup. Obviously, Mike Evans shouldn't be on your bench, but I also want to see it before I do it. You said or JSN. I'll go JSN. Dustin Stone, shout out to you, brother. He says Dobbins or Pollard, half PPR. Who? I'm going to go with Tony Pollard. Tajay Spears is out. There's going to be a lot of volume and a lot of opportunity there. And it's a pretty decent matchup against the Houston Texans, who are, a little bit more advantageous against the run, whereas the Baltimore Ravens are one of the top two worst matchups against the run. So I'm not playing J.K. Dobbins against the Baltimore Ravens. I am most certainly, just based off of volume and his ability to break big, I'm going Tony Pollard, and I do like him to find the end zone. I'm probably the only content creator who likes Tony Pollard this week and not overthinking the situation. Hopefully that smashes for you, Dustin. Hot Dixie says, I took the Panthers, Finns, and the bye week against in my parlay this week. What do you mean the bye week against? Elaborate. Oh, the bye week against the Jets. Oh, okay. It's a joke. It's a joke. Man, the Jets are struggling, but this is coming from a New York Giants fan. Shit ain't looking much better for you guys either. 155 people on X. Shout out to you guys. Bring your questions over on X. I'll gladly answer it, or come on over to the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. Also gladly answer. Thank you guys for tuning in and supporting the content and the channel. Hot Take City says he's dead. So let's look at this. All right. So Dallas, we'll go game by game, and we'll give you guys our call. Dallas Cowboys are 10.5-point dogs coming in against Washington Commanders. The over under is 45. I like the Commanders to cover the spread in this game, even though 10.5 is very heavy. Let's see if it's updated. Yeah, it's still 10.5, but the over under is now 44.5. I like Washington to cover the spread, and I also like the over. I think Washington themselves are going to put up over 45 points. Detroit Lions are 7.5-point dogs versus the Indianapolis Colts. Over under is 50, 50.5 now. I like, and now currently they adjusted it, so it's just a 7-point favorite. I like the Lions to cover the spread as well. I know they're both hefty spreads, honestly. Kansas City Chiefs, 11-point favorites against the Carolina Panthers. Over under is 43. I think the Panthers could cover the spread, but I don't like Carolina. They're going against a tough defense, and Patrick Mahomes is going to be a man possessed off of a horrible loss to the Buffalo Bills. I like KC to cover as well, man. And now it's at 10.5, so even better. Minnesota Vikings, they are 3-point favorites going against the Chicago Bears. Over under is 39.5. I like the over in this game. People think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I don't. I think it's going to be an over. I do like that game. New England's are 7.5-point dogs against the Miami Dolphins. The over under is 45.5. I like New England to cover the spread. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are 6-point favorites against the New York Giants. The over-under is 41.0. Right now, the over-under is currently 40, and they're still 6-point favorites. I'm going to take the over on this. I think this does go over 40. I think there's going to be a Tyrone Tracy touchdown. I think Neighbors could find the end zone. Also, why do I like Theo Johnson? And then on the other side, Bucky Irving is going to score like 2 touchdowns. Kate Otton is going to score 1, and Jalen McMillan is going to smash this week. Tennessee Titans, they are currently 8-point dogs against the Houston Texans. The over-under is 40.5. I'm going to take the under in this game. I'm going to be the undertaker and take the under on this game. Denver Broncos are 5.5-point favorites against the Las Vegas Raiders. The over-under is 41.5. I'm going to take Denver to cover the spread and win the game by 6 points. Taste the Skittles. Great name. Love the name. Says Kyler Murray, Bo Nix, or Mike Evans. Dallas Goedert and Flex PPR. So Kyler Murray or Bo Nix. So if I'm choosing between Kyler Murray and Bo Nix, I'm going to go Bo Nix, but you can't go wrong with either one of them. Mike Evans or Dallas Goedert in the flex. I have Dallas Goedert projected higher than Mike Evans, so I'm going to go Dallas Goedert. And I know, this is weird because every other content creator is going to tell you got to play Kyler Murray and Mike Evans, but I'm not every other content creator. I don't like the cookie cutter answers just because we're reacting from last week or things we've seen in the past. I do my own assessment. I do my own research and my own breakdown. Hopefully that smashes for you. And once again, sick name in. Arizona Cardinals are 1-point favorites against the Seattle Seahawks. Over under is 47.5. Game kicks off at 4:25 p.m. Eastern time. I like Arizona to cover the spread. I like them to win straight out. I like them even an alternate line covering or alternate spread covering up to 5 points. I think Arizona is just more complete team, top to bottom, where Seattle they have a lot of holes in what they do. San Francisco 49ers are 5.5-point dogs against the Green Bay Packers. Let's see if this changed. Now they're 6-point dogs against the Green Bay Packers. The over-under is 44.5. I like the under. I also like Green Bay to cover the spread there. Philadelphia Eagles are 3-point favorites versus the Los Angeles Rams. They're currently, and the over-under is 49. I like the Eagles straight up money line. Minus 155 is kind of tasty. And I do like the over there, but I'm not touching it. And then Monday Night Football, Baltimore Ravens are 2.5-point favorites against the LA Chargers. The over-under is 50.5. I'm going to take the over there. I don't know who's going to win that. Who do you guys think is going to win between Baltimore and the Chargers? The Harbaugh Bowl. The Harbaugh Bowl. Appreciate it. Thanks, man. I got you, boss. I got you. Hopefully that advice smashes. All the best to you. We're pushing close to 200 live viewers. Last night we hit 400. What an insane show. Shout out to Sleazeball. Shout out to Pete Nova. Shout out to Andrew Nordmeyer. These guys were absolutely phenomenal. We were live for over 2 hours and 15 minutes. Like, it was a full-time shift, and there was a lot of back and forth, a lot of research, a lot of analysis. Our Saturday shows is top-notch stuff where we go through every single game and break down all of the stuff. My throat is still hurting from all the speaking that I had to do yesterday. But yeah, man, I'll give you guys like 3 more minutes, unless we get a bunch of people who are watching on X heading over to the YouTube channel and asking us questions here or there. We'll call it, and I'll go hang out with the wife before games kick off. I'll set my lineups. But shout out to you guys. I might do a watch party, but I might do like a live watch party while I play Call of Duty. Would you guys like that on YouTube? EB20 says Otten or Kittle. I'm gonna go Kate Otten. I like Kate Otten. I like his matchup. I think Mike Evans is still gonna be, I think he's still going to be a slow ramp up. That hamstring injury could have been a season ender if Tampa Bay is smart, and they haven't been smart in the past. So hopefully Todd Bowles has learned his lesson with his wide receivers and like actually puts him on a snap count. I think Kate Otten's still going to get a lot of volume and a lot of usage. I love Kate Otten this week. I love Bucky Irving. I even like Rashad White. And I like Jalen McMillan. Mike Evans, I'm not ready to invest yet because it's such a bad injury that he's coming off of. Like, such a bad injury that he's coming off of. But yeah, and George Kittle, I think he's primed for a decent matchup as well. I think he'll be all right. I think he'll do well. But I just think Kate Otten has a safer floor and a higher ceiling in a much better matchup. Yes, Jair's gone, but Jair's not going to be shadowing Kittle. Oh, God, that's a good coffee. It's a great coffee. Let's talk about anytime touchdown scorers before we go. All right. I like Brian Robinson Jr. to find the end zone against the Dallas Cowboys. I like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jahmyr Gibbs, Sam Laporta, and David Montgomery all to find the end zone against the Indianapolis Colts. I like Kareem Hunt and Xavier Worthy to find the end zone against the Carolina Panthers. And I also like Xavier Legette is a sneaky fucking play. I like Xavier Legette to find the end zone against the Kansas City Chiefs. Minnesota Vikings versus Chicago. Justin Jefferson, I'm never betting against to find the end zone. I also like Roma Dunze to find the end zone. He gets targeted 6 times a week the last 4 or 5 weeks. I think he's due for a smash matchup. I really do like Roma Dunze this week. New England Patriots against the Miami Dolphins. I like Jalen Waddle to find the end zone. And I also like Hunter Henry to find the end zone. Like both of those guys a lot this week. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All right. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the New York Giants. I like Malik Neighbors to find the end zone. And I like Jalen McMillan, Rashad White, and Bucky Irving to all find the end zone, and potentially Kate Otten, but I'm not very high on Kate Otten to find the end zone. I like him volume PPR format. Tennessee against Houston. I like Joe Mixon to find the end zone, obviously, and I like Tony Pollard to find the end zone as well. Potentially Calvin Ridley, but I'm not betting on Calvin Ridley. Also, really like the rushing yards for Will Levis, currently on Drafters. If you add him into a Pick-Em ticket, it's at 10.5, which is great. Arizona against Seattle, I like JSN to find the end zone. I like Kenneth Walker Jr. to find the end zone. I like Marvin Harrison Jr. to find the end zone. And Sleaze called it last night, so shout out to Sleaze. He likes Trey McBride to finally find the fucking end zone, and I'm here for it. San Francisco against Green Bay, I like Josh Jacobs to find the end zone. And I like Jaden Reed to find the end zone. CMC, I think he's going to have a fine day. He's going to get more volume and usage. I think Jordan Mason, if you got him on your bench, you should probably start him, especially since it's week 12 by Mageddon, especially if you're in a deeper league. I think he's startable. He's going to get a lot of volume and usage as well. Tucker Kraft is not a smash play for me this week. I really don't like him at all. Philadelphia, I like A.J. Brown to find the end zone. I like Saquon to find the end zone. I like Puka Nacua to find the end zone, and Colby Parkinson to find the end zone, and Dallas Goedert. I like them all. I've bet on all of them individually. And then Baltimore against the LA Chargers, I like Quentin Johnson to find the end zone. I like, obviously, Derrick Henry to find the end zone. And Isaiah Likely is a sneaky smash play this week, guys. I really do like Isaiah Likely a heck of a lot. I think Will Dissly is startable as well. That's it for us today, guys. We've been live for over an hour. We're going to do a Call of Duty watch party in about 32 minutes exclusively on the Big Draft Energy YouTube channel. So if you guys want to, play COD with us, if you guys are into Call of Duty, do that. If you guys want to watch the games with us and, just ask about later games, we'll be there. God bless you guys. God love you guys. I appreciate you guys for rocking with me. I'm going to go hang out with the wife for a bit. And then, until next time, peace.